think that you were gifted this at this time in your life? I know it started 6 years ago, but why do you think that perhaps the universe chose you to carry this intuitive energy to be able to help other people?
You know, I wish I had an answer for that, because I ask myself that all the time.
Were you going through like a period during that time?
I was. So when I reflect all the way back to like my childhood, like I can recall times where I always knew, I was always very intuitive. So like I could look at somebody and know if they were good, if they were quote unquote bad, if they were a liar. I always just could tell who people were, what their true intentions were. So as a kid, and I always just chalked it up to being like coincidences, and you know, I didn't think much of it. But I have always been intuitive. But 6 years ago, when this, I guess we'll call it an awakening, sort of happened, I had just actually, I was going through a hard time. I just had a miscarriage. So sometimes people, you know, it's kind of like I don't know, they say that, you know, sometimes a traumatic event could trigger this sort of awakening. So, you know, I guess it really depends on which perspective you feel aligned with. And, you know, for a long time, I kept saying, like, why me? Why me? Like, but now I see it more as, why not me? I've always lived in a place of truth and honesty. I mean, not to say that I'm a saint. I've made tons of mistakes, but I like to hope anyway that I lived a pretty genuine life before my awakening. And now I just sort of stay in it.
Wow.
Which is not easy, because I
was just gonna say, yeah. Like you're carrying like a lot of like another person's energy in you while also managing your own energy. Like I'm sure that could be exhausting or like overwhelming or overstimulating, and it's like I can only imagine like what that feels like, you know?
So, well, I do a lot of grounding, because so grounding, I also like to sort of touch on what grounding is, because, you know, that word gets sort of tossed around, you know, and even me, I didn't know at first, like, what grounding was. I'm like, okay, ground, what the hell does that even mean?
Right.
But fast forward, I now understand what it means. So what it means is the earth rotates on an axis, right? Which is propelled via energy. Everything is energy. So we as humans, we hold an energy, a vibration, a frequency.
Right.
So when you sit down on the ground, you're basically plugging into Mother Earth. So now you are recharging and grounding the energy and the noise of life. And you're able to recenter and rebalance back to your heart space. So that is what grounding is. So that's why people say, like, walk barefoot outside, is because you are connecting to the earth.
Right.
Or, you know, the crystals, the rocks, you know, it's really just any form of connecting to Mother Earth and to quiet the mind.
Right. That's extremely powerful. I think if someone that, like, what would you say to someone that, like, for example, myself, like, I'm in this period in my life where I had the success, I got a good taste of it, and then something happened in that journey that kind of made me, like, lose it all in one shot, which was something that I wasn't expecting for myself. And I now have to like
rebuild,
but I'm also selective.
Yeah, so but that is
So it's like, and both energies can exist.
Yes.
So
what is happening to you? What you're experiencing is the divine. So the universe. So I'm not an astrologist, but I do sort of believe that some of it holds some truth. So in January we left the year of the snake.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then we entered the year of the horse. So now a snake has to shed its skin. It's called molting. Right? So if the snake does not molt or shed its skin, it suffocates and dies. So the universe molted the people, places, and things that no longer served your greater good. And now it didn't take it away from you. It removed what isn't for your highest, greatest good. That journey was meant to be there. But now we are in the year of the fire horse. So there is a sense of action, less contemplating. And I think the universe is trying to teach you to drop into your heart space. And it's not about being selective. That's your intuition. That is the divine guiding you.
Thank you for that.
Because that is your compass. So it's not that you were punished or things were ripped away from you. It was those things were no longer serving your greater good. So the doors that we are sometimes not strong enough to close on our own, the universe will close them for us. So
it's really hard.
It fucking sucks.
It fucking sucks
it's brutal.
because you're kind of like taking away the short-term dopamine that you get from staying in what's comfortable for a long-term unknown, but more closer to your future self, your higher self. You know, so it's like, oh,
well,
God.
I call it blind faith. And I live in blind faith because there is always going to be so much unknown, but when you have blind faith, you allow yourself to trust fall into whatever presents itself. And when you follow that lead, you're never going to be wrong. Whether it implodes or whether it thrives. It's whatever is meant for you to experience is what is going to present. But you have to trust yourself. You got to drop into your heart space, and you have to really believe that everything is for your greater good.
Oh my goodness. So my follow-up questions. You were explaining how
things are not taken away.
Right. Like in order to have access to that, to like your higher self, let's say, you have to just have trust in yourself, trust in the universe, that no matter whatever the outcome is, whether it implodes or it works for you, that it's still the right path.
Yes.
Like the path, what you're saying is like the path isn't necessarily linear. It sometimes isn't always positive, but it is for your higher self to have more access to your higher self.
Because we are all souls having a human experience.
Right.
So the whole purpose of this human body is for our souls to learn as many lessons as possible. And through each trial and tribulation, the goal is to enlighten back to love. That is the goal.
Right.
So we learn the hard lessons of judgment, betrayal, lack, financial success and financial loss, and everything in between. To the point of all of that is to create mindfulness and gratitude for the present moment. Like there's no right or wrong answer, but trusting that God doesn't punish is also what keeps me from sometimes having, severe meltdowns, because it's very disheartening sometimes when, you want to help and you want to guide, and you're sometimes met with, judgment or doubt, and knowing that you have a good intention, but sometimes it's not always perceived that way.
Right.
So now I have learned to pivot, and I help those that are seeking my guidance.
Right. Right. What would you say to somebody that maybe they don't have faith? Let's just say maybe they don't have a religion, or they just have a hard time believing in something and trusting in the universe and doing that trust fall. What would you say to those people that have a hard time surrendering to the process?
Well,
to their process.
So to those that it's a hard question to answer, because I personally don't believe that we basically as humans have to believe in something, because even going back right into even back when, I know this is like a touchy subject, but it proves the point. So even in the Holocaust, right, there was, I can't remember his name right now, but he wrote a book and I read it, and he was in the concentration camps, and he was subjected to some of the worst of the worst. And the thing that kept him alive was that he had hope. He never gave up hope, and he said, you can beat me, you can starve me, you can take everything away from me, but you can never take away my hope and my belief that there is good in the world. Even while he was being subjected to unimaginable circumstances. So that lesson stays with me, because that's why I have a hard time believing that people, even if you don't believe in a God, in a religion,
right.
I'm not here to convince anyone to believe or not to believe, but you can't exist without hope. So even if that's all you hold on to keep moving yourself forward, then that is what you do. Right. You just, like Dory, just keep swimming, keep swimming.
Right. Do you believe that people can go through it alone, or do you think people need people, or do they have to kind of like reflect and be by themselves to... So for me personally, I have been on this journey for 6 years. I can confidently say pretty much navigating it very isolated and alone. And why do you think that is?
Because I was met with a lot of judgment, very much like, that's your problem, you deal with it, and people really, I felt very like misunderstood, because people in my life thought or perceived it like I was trying to convince them that I quote unquote talk to dead people, and I kept trying to explain like I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything, but I'm telling you what I'm experiencing. And then I was met with interventions, that I had mental health problems. I was ridiculed, I was judged, I was exiled. And you know, there were, you know, there is definitely a handful of people that, you know, support me, and I'm grateful for all of the people that made my journey extra difficult and ones that were able to hold the space for me. But I always say, like, I don't really think anybody chooses to talk to dead people. Like, I wasn't looking for it.
Right.
So yeah, it's a very isolating journey, but I think it's meant to be that way because that's how I learned to trust myself. Because I don't have anyone who's like saying, you know, Jen, I believe that you had this crazy dream and all of a sudden can talk to dead people.
Yeah. Like,
nobody's saying that. Everybody's saying, like, you're fucking crazy. Like, check your meds. You know, and I did. I fought everyone who presented me with a challenge. I followed through. So when they said go to the doctor and have your meds checked, I went to the doctor, had my meds checked. And then I gave the doctor a reading, and she literally signed a piece of paper saying that none of the medicine you're on creates a side effect of what you just did. And I presented it, and I was still met with, you know, that can't be. And so now, like I said, I'm grateful for all of the people that I needed to release from my space with love, but I got tired of trying to explain who I am to people that have been committed to misunderstanding me.
Right.
And I say it with love. I'm not angry, I'm not mad.
Right.
I get it.
Right. Like, you accept it. Like, it's just what it is. It's just how the cards folded.
All right. I can't be anyone other than me.
Yeah. I saw that you mentioned in the when you were explaining to me, like, what it is you want people to get out of this, that you help people with their emotional pain. And I also saw grief in there too, which I thought was really powerful. Talk a little bit more about the grief side of things and how you help people navigate through that, or like, how do you think people should or could navigate through that?
Well, you know, I equate grief to love. So grief is love. So it never ends. So as long as you love that person, you will always grieve them. You will always mourn them. You will always miss them. But I help people reframe it where they can create a sense of peace by sometimes planting a tree. Right? Like I had a client the other day, and her mom loved Christmas. And she was in a really low state, and she was grieving and mourning. And I told her, you know, the message came through her mom, from her mom, and because I kept smelling Christmas. I'm like, what's with, I kept saying balsam, and she was like, what? I'm like, I don't know, Christmas.
Yeah.
So she's like, my mom loved the smell of Christmas trees, but she was allergic to them, so she could never have a real Christmas tree or light the candles and the whole thing. So I said to her, I said, so you have to plant a Christmas tree for your mom. And so when the time comes, she's gonna plant a Christmas tree for her mom, and then that is a way for her to grieve and mourn and honor her mom's love of Christmas, and could be a tangible place for her to sort of visit. And then it's also the life cycle of planting, growing, rebirthing, giving it love, giving it light, nurturing it. It's a way for her to channel that grief into love. So sometimes, you know, it's not about eliminating the grief, it's about reframing it so that it could be perceived with not a loss, but of gratitude that you had the time that you had. And also people like a lot of times people pass around Christmas, birthdays, holidays, and people always get so upset, and they're like, oh, it was my, she died on her birthday or around my birthday, or this holiday was her favorite. And Spirit always says they do that on purpose. So they choose to pass around that time because they know everyone's going to be gathered and together. And so they want to celebrate with us. So it's, so that's why I also encourage people that are grieving to keep celebrating their birthday, keep celebrating that, that holiday. Bring out the best china, use their dishes. They always say use the pots, the pans.
Right.
Like some people shut it away.
Right.
But I don't want to say unhealthy because everybody has their own way of grieving, but there's another way. Spirit communicates that it's quite the opposite. They do it to be with everyone, and they want to see the china. They want to hear the clanking of the dishes.
Right.
So I think that's one big message that a lot of people struggle with, and they don't want to celebrate birthdays or holidays anymore without their loved ones, but I would encourage them to do the opposite.
And it's interesting, like there's different forms of grief too.
Yes.
There's like the grief where you lose someone physically, like in the physical world, which is the one that like people usually, when they think of grief, that's what they think of. But there can be like a grieving of your old self, or it can be like a breakup kind of grieving where you lose a loved one, like emotionally or romantically.
Oh, yes.
Talk to me about maybe those two.
Well, I tell you, it fucking sucks. It sucks. It's hard.
Yes.
I definitely relate to that because that is what I've experienced in more than one way, not just with my spiritual self, but I can remember I had a hard time, like I grieved myself when I became a mother. So we wanted my son. We planned for him. We were blessed with a son.
How old were you when
let's see, he's 10 years old now. I was 32, I think, when I had when we had Vito, my son.
Right.
But after I had him, I suffered really bad postpartum depression. And most of that depression was such a heavy grief of not being willing to let go of my old self. Right. Jen the hairdresser, Jen Vito's wife. Like I didn't know how to be Jen baby Vito's mom. Like who is that? Like, and they would say like, oh, most moms know their babies cry. I'm like, I don't know that cry. I don't know that baby. Like, and that was like a hard thing because you want to embrace your baby and you love your baby, but there were moments where I wanted to like press rewind and just go back to being being me, the me that I knew.
Right.
So that was a huge grief of the old self, and and then stepping into embracing motherhood and the challenges that brings. Right. But yes, you can grieve yourself in many ways, not only just by, having a baby, but a transformation, an evolution.
Right.
But what I do is I find gratitude for the old versions of who I was. Because you have to hold yourself in grace, and you have to hold yourself with love and honor who you were at that time, because we were supposed to be that person, and now we are stepping into a new version.
Right.
That's why they say like personalities, like there's so many versions of personalities that people have all different sides to them, and each one of them is just as important as the next.
Yeah.
So it's about embracing all sides of you and honoring who you were and who you are becoming.
Gosh, that's so powerful. I was just going through this too. I feel like I went through that heavily, like late last year into 2026. Like I just felt like I was just, like my soul was like, we're no longer gonna play this character that you've been playing for however long. Like we're tired.
It's called an ego death.
Yes. Like exactly. Like we're tired of pretending because
it means you can't be mean.
Yeah.
You're like me. You can't lie and you can't be mean.
Yeah.
So if somebody honks at you and gives you the finger, you are gonna be like, I hope they have a good day.
Yeah.
Like and you send them love.
Right.
Because you don't. Once that ego dies, you no longer have the ability to hold negative frequency. So you'll find yourself not being able to react the way your old self would.
Exactly.
So I have a question. What part of the old you is the most difficult for you to release?
The old me, you know, growing up, I've always grown up with like this, I don't want to say low self-worth, but it took me a long time to build up towards having some sense of self-worth and having confidence in that, and then putting that out into the world. And so that the world sees me as, you're valuable. I want to invest in you. I want to be in your energy field, whatever. What I'm struggling with now is, specifically in my career and in my business, I am at a crossroads, right? Like I've been working with a certain kind of energy that no longer serves me, like let's just say financially, and it's time for me to kind of like graduate and go into a different energy field. But what I'm noticing is that it's requiring a different version of me to show up different, right? So I'm having a really hard time. I'm very comfortable over here, you know?
Well, the only time we grow is when we make ourselves uncomfortable.
Exactly. Yes.
So.
And I'm stubborn because I've been uncomfortable for so long. Like, see, this is where I get really stubborn.
So it's not stubborn. So to give you the breakdown to decode what you just said, is our self-worth stems from our childhood 99% of the time. And so people don't have to necessarily go through a traumatic event in order to question their self-worth. It could happen in a brief moment. So you can, when you were a child, you could have went up to your mom and said, "Mom, I see Grandpa," right? And let's just say Grandpa's on the other side. Right. Now your mom looks at you and she goes, "Alexis, you didn't see Grandpa. You didn't know him. He's dead." So now, what that just did to you was create self-doubt and self-worth. Because as a child, we look to our parents to validate us in our truth. And so now, when your parent questions your truth, you now have to question your truth. And so now you are not as confident and innocent in your truths. You fear being not being validated by our loved ones.
Yeah.
So that's where it stems from, right? And then you being able to like who you were took a lot of courage. It took all of your might to step into yourself, and then vulnerability to expose yourself and like yourself. But now that version of you was sort of a mask. Or it was not to say that you weren't you, but it was a less authentic, what's the word? Like, it was a less truthful part of you.
Right.
Right?
Like maybe performative, maybe?
Yeah,
a little bit?
yeah, because we are always, that's part of the problem, is not the problem, but the solution is to not seek outside sources to validate you.
God.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you have to like you have to validate you. And even clients that come to me for any sort of guidance, whether it's to connect to the other side or just to guide them on their life path, like I tell them, you don't need me to tell you anything. You don't need me to validate you. You need to learn to embrace your own truth. And then use your discernment to hold that space for yourself.
Right.
Unapologetically.
Right. That's
now when you master that, you fucking come tell me, because it is no joke. People think spirituality is so like, tree hugging. It is painful. It's raw. It's vulnerable. It's transparent. It's calloused. It's truth. But you have to, it all just, for me, just circles back to the trust fall into the divine, into you.
Yeah.
Because be the you that you were before your guardian made you question yourself.
God, yeah.
Where is that girl?
Yeah.
Find that person, channel her, forgive her for doubting all of the doubt that she imagined and then led with.
Yeah.
Because we're no longer leading with doubt, we're leading with accountability and truth.
Yeah.
So think of it like almost like you wouldn't want to be a liar, right?
Right.
So when you start to resist this new you, yell at yourself and be like, no, I'm not a liar. This is the way I feel and today. And it could change from day to day. But however you're feeling or wherever you're feeling pulled towards, stand in that truth.
Right.
And don't back down to yourself.
Right.
Dig a little deeper. Use your heart as your compass to navigate you through business deals, events, content, dinner restaurants, like gas stations. Everywhere you go, be mindful of where you're being pulled towards.
Right.
And trust that guidance.
Right. I 100% agree with that. That's also so hard to do.
It is, but we start in baby steps.
Right.
So can you do me one favor right now?
Yeah, of course.
So can you sort of think, like, be the old Alexis, right? The one that was performative, the one that was a people pleaser, the one that was a yes, I'll do it. Yes, I'll spread myself wide and thin and leave myself with not even a crumb left over.
Yes.
Okay? Can you think of that, Alexis?
Yes.
And can you hold space for her and thank her for all that she has taught you and all that she has brought you to this new threshold of evolution, and honor her and thank her for what she is in her being. Just honor her, love her, and then allow her to dissolve. Because I use that verb, that language, dissolve, because it irks me to say let go. I hate that word. Don't like that phrase because it just feels very forced. Let go of it. Oh, just let go of it. Get over it.
Right.
No, we don't let go of versions of ourselves.
Right.
We don't let go of people.
Right.
Or our emotions.
Right.
We let go of like cars, balloons, places.
Right.
Not
right.
Not our being.
Right. Right.
So
true.
I prefer to hold space for the version of you and allow her to dissolve.
Right. Right.
And then see the new you as truth.
Right.
Even on days that you might feel like a liar.
Right.
Just try to hold yourself in truth.
Right.
Because the truth shall set you free.
Yeah. No, 100%.
I know that sounds so cliche, but I feel like
it's true.
that is just what I feel.
Yeah. I also think that I've just been experiencing like just a lot of burnout, and I feel like it's been kind of chronic these past few months. Like I'm trying really hard to break free and try to tap into this higher energy and let go and surrender. There's just I run around the block and then I'm tired.
But you have to just be first. You're already chasing something.
Yeah.
It's not about getting to this higher frequency and getting into this positive energy. It's about honoring where you are today and just allowing yourself to be in a state of limbo. I'm not here or there. I'm just here.
I'm just figuring it out. Yeah.
Just give yourself the grace to just be and love this space that you're in.
Right.
You're
Right.
seeking the validation. You're chasing. Just stand still. Just be. Drop into your heart space. Where does it feel uncomfortable? And go there. You have to allow yourself to look at what is behind the curtain, like the Wizard of Oz. Like, what is back there?
Right.
You have like the Wizard of Oz, that movie, by the way. I don't know why, but I feel like it's significant for you because they're talking to me about it.
Yeah.
Does it have a significance to you?
Wizard of Oz, I haven't seen it in a while, but I do know like of like the storyline a little bit.
Okay, so like for some reason they are making reference to it. So it could have been from your childhood. It could be. Did you play something in a play, like, with it?
No, never.
Like,
no.
as a child?
I watched it as a child growing up, maybe, like, less than a handful of times. But I am thinking
you
of it.
have, like, a memory of it. Okay, so...
Is that the one with the girl with the red boots and she
Yes.
taps it? Okay, yes. I do. Yes.
Okay, so, like, I feel like when I say they, I mean the divine, your spirit team, higher source. They are encouraged, like, you are the Wizard of Oz, right? You are on this journey, and, like, no place like home is here. You're like trying to follow the yellow brick road, but there's no place like home. You are here. Be here. And like I mean, I don't really know like the whole, I mean, I've seen the movie, but I know like the Tin Man has like no soul or something, and then the lion has no courage, and then like everybody's just all jacked up, you know?
Right.
But each one of those characters represents a version of ourselves.
Right.
But the main point is there's no place like home. It's all right here. There is nothing behind the curtain. It's a facade.
Exactly. Yep.
Be home. Wow, that was really good. Thank you, Spirit.
Yes, that was really good, and we caught that.
Yeah, Spirit. That was Spirit. That's not me.
I love that. I really resonate with that. Is there like a final message or something that you want to say to the world that's watching, or what do you want them to know about you or to get from this?
Well, what did you get from this? How do you feel my energy and my, how do you feel like this resonates for you as somebody who is going through a transitional time in their life and, you know, having just different perspectives for each stop on your journey. Like, how has it enlightened you?
Yeah, I definitely feel like there's this common theme, especially within the past couple of months, where it's like, Lex, no matter how much you resist, it's like at some point you just have to surrender and just let go and stop trying to control everything so hard. Like you're supposed to be this, and you're supposed to be chasing this, and you're what, you know. So I am in a place of surrender right now. So I am taking in as much like support that I can get while also trying to give myself the love back. And it's just foreign to me. It's a little unfamiliar, but I'm like open to it. And it's just a lot of it's a lot to process.
It is a lot to process.
Because there's a lot of like trauma to unpack. Like I never envisioned myself like unpacking all this trauma like in going into my early 30s, because like the trauma happened.
It leaves an imprint on our soul.
Yeah.
Trauma is, and you know, also trauma, there's so many versions of traumas. I call it like a big T and a little t. So like a big T would be a trauma where there's like, you know, somebody witnesses their parent getting shot or raped or kidnapped or, you know, whatever would be considered a big T, right?
Right.
But there are thousands of little T's that imprint on our soul and dictate our behavior and the way that we view ourselves.
Right.
So look at the yellow butterfly. Oh my God. That, did you see that butterfly?
I'm still looking at it.
Literally like gorgeous. Look at it. That's spirit.
I don't think I've ever.
And you know that butterflies only live 10 days? They go through all that shit for 10 days.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Kidding.
Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding.
Holy shit! I didn't know that.
They literally they go through that from a caterpillar. That's what you are, the butterfly. You're turning into the butterfly. This is you. That it represents. See how spirit works?
Yeah, that's so crazy.
You are the butterfly. You're in the transformation, the metamorphosis.
Right.
And you're going to soar. You're going to thrive. Hopefully, more than 10 days.
Right.
But you know, you're going to, you know, step into your true self. But hold space for each part of the journey, because just like the butterfly, if they don't become the caterpillar, then they can't go into the chrysalis, and then they can't do their whole metamorphosis thing.
Right.
So like all of these steps are necessary to rebirth, evolve, evolution.
God, I love that so much. How can people find you, by the way? Like, how can people contact you?
Just call Alexis. Call Alexis. She's going to be my consigliere now. That's it. I love you so much.
I love you.
I hope that I really impacted you in a positive way, and it's all true. Really good. I appreciate you supporting me. Of course. Don't make me cry. But your trauma comes from our little T's.
Yeah.
But we have to be grateful for every cross that we have to bear. Like if I told you my life story, you would not be able to sit right there. I suffered. Again, I'm not a victim.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for all of my trauma. But my parents got divorced when I was young. My mom married an alcoholic who abused me most of my life. And then my dad got remarried, and I had a sister all of a sudden. I have a brother who is my blood brother, but now, you know, I grew up with chaos, and not that there was a lack of love, there was a lot of love, but there was a lot of chaos and instability And, you know, my stepfather and I, you know, he was a very low vibrational entity, and he tortured my soul. He really did. And my mom, you know, always had me apologize. I always had to clean up his mess and be the good girl and just take it. And so I learned, you know, that's where my lack of self-love and what makes this journey even more difficult is because my early childhood was that I wasn't good enough to protect. I wasn't good enough to keep. Because my stepfather, one day, he decided that he didn't want me to live there anymore. So I was very young, and I came home from school one day, and my room was on the front lawn in garbage bags. And they just packed up my shit, and they were like, you're gonna go live with your dad and his girlfriend and her daughter. So they just threw me away. Again, that was my perception. And again, I don't hold any anger towards my mom or anybody in my family, because I know they were just doing their best, and that has to be enough for me.
Right.
But that was where my trauma stems from, of I'm disposable. One day you could be loved and wanted, and the next your shit is in garbage bags and we're throwing you away. And I went to 3 different high schools. I got left back. I had learning disabilities. I was insubordinate. You know, like I was always everywhere but nowhere. So, and again, I'm grateful for all of the events. And like I said, my family is very loving. It's not that they're not. My dad's amazing. Everybody is amazing. But the perception from a child was that you're not worth keeping. You're not worth fighting for. You're not worth defending. You're worth, you know, your existence is not important enough to stand up to my stepfather, who was in a drunk rage every day.
Right. That's so difficult. That's like, I can relate with that too. Yeah.
It makes you question your self-worth.
Yeah.
And your purpose. Like, if my parents don't want me, who else is going to want you?
Right.
So, like, that's why this journey is so important for you to like go backwards. I call it like it's like a slingshot, right? So in order to get to this higher self, right, that you're seeking, right? Before you get there, you have to slingshot back to your childhood and then propel forward. And that is the real challenge. It's not where you're going and letting go of, it's allowing yourself to go back there and forgive your mom, your dad, your stepfather, your environment, you know, whether they were big T's or little T's.
Right.
Like, because sometimes people think like, oh, well, everyone's parents are divorced. Yeah, but that comes with, as a child, it comes with a pull, a push, a tug, you know, and everybody's circumstance is different. But when you're young and innocent and your stability gets removed from underneath you, you lose your footing. You lose what is truth, what is stable. And then you're left to navigate it on your own. And that's what happened with you.
Yeah. No, the slingshot method, I think that's a great way to like end on this. Like, everyone should
learn how to slingshot. And again, and you know, I also want to stress, like, it's not about staying in the past. It's not, you know, because people say, oh, don't live in the past. But it's not about staying in the past. It's about honoring and going back to the past and allowing yourself to process those experiences so that you can learn the lessons and with love and then propel forward into your truth.
That's so powerful, Jen. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your energy and your healing capabilities, because it feels extremely grounding and peaceful, and it gives me like more hope and like a light at the end of the tunnel. Like, just remember what Jen said. Like, remember, like, you know.
I hope you
like,
do.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm gonna be with you on this journey. It's not over. We're gonna keep going, okay?
Yes.
We're just gonna be like Dory. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. We got this.